All right, we ready for it?
Yeah. Something a little different from the boy, but you know, I gotta try it. Yeah, I'll meet you at sunset. Yeah, I'll meet you at sunset. Yeah, I'll meet you at sunset.
I go by the name of Vellivvs.
Alright, so Alex Ross here today.
Yes, sir.
And today we want to talk about your music and just what inspired you just using artists. So tell me, how did you start doing music?
I started doing music a couple years ago after being influenced by my uncle. He used to freestyle all the time around with his friends, and it really left an kind of impact on me. I was like, hey, oh, this sounds good. I wanna kind of put in on this sound. So I ended up doing it seriously around like 9th grade. I stopped playing sports and everything, for I was like, this is what I really want to do. And ended up just doing it, starting getting into like a little bit of talent shows. And so I want to say about 2013, that's when I started getting into it.
Was he a rapper too?
Yeah, my uncle, he was a rapper. He did a little stuff here and there, but he wasn't too serious about it. But you know how old heads is. Yeah, that's rap. I'm rap.
You say you stopped playing sports. What sports you played back then?
I played football, basketball, wrestling, a whole bunch of things. I even ran indoor track, outdoor track, so I try to stay active, working all the time.
So once you started, you just knew you knew that was it. Like once you started music, you knew that was your thing. You knew you was going to do something.
I just knew from it just felt right. I don't nobody in my family do music besides my cousin on my dad's side, and but it don't really run in my family. But it's like how music makes me feel. It's more of a vibe type of thing. It's like, all right, well, every time I listen to it, I'm breaking down all the instruments and how much work it took into everybody's that's famous, how much work it took to build that project and stuff. So I can just hear everything and it just vibed with me, right? And I was just like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do this. I think I'm gonna just take a shot at it and just say, fuck it, just do it.
So what kind of music do you try to aim to do?
I try to do something not as lyrical, but I try to make something that's kind of for everyone. They don't have to be you can also play it late at night when you're driving by yourself, but you could also play it while you with your family, and also people that's big fans of hip hop can also listen to it and be like, man, this dude got lyrics, he's come with a delivery, he's actually about something. So I like a mix up of a little everything, a little alternative, so
Yeah, so you just try to give everybody what they want.
Basically, yeah.
I like they trying to bring the old style back. Let's talk about your tape. Let's go and get to your music real quick. So, Afficionado, that was a dope EP. I really liked it, jump.
Thank you.
Talk about that tape. Just how that come about.
I was in a spot in my life where I felt like I needed to prove something. I felt like I needed to just give my all 100%, because I felt honestly, bro, I was done with this. After this project, I felt like I just wanted to be done because I didn't give so much. Yeah, I just gave so much energy to it, bro, and I was just like, man, I don't know if I should keep going or if I should, I don't know, give it up. But it took me a lot of confidence. It took me a lot of thinking about it, and it took me a lot of time to build it and get it started, because after I got out of my little situation I was in with my past label. After I got to go ahead and just be like, you know what, just do you, bro. And I took a year off from music, stopped performing and all that, started building, listening to a lot of music, and then end up looking for the beats. I'm more of a production guy first, so if it sounds good and I feel like everybody will gravitate to it more faster, or it just sounds well, so I focused on the production first, and then the lyrics came, and then I started actually recording around March last year. So it was so I was working on it for a minute, for a good almost 2 years. So I was like, all right, bet, I'm finally do it, and it actually came out fine, perfect.
How's the feedback been from it so far since you put it up?
It's been super positive. Everybody's been sending me I don't know, videos of listening to their favorite songs and stuff, and everybody's been rocking with it. So it's definitely a more positive reception than I thought that people were gonna give me. I thought everybody was gonna be just sleeping on it.
I like it. That was dope. The first 2 songs, I feel like that's the most important. A lot of artists, the first 2 songs have to capture the person. I feel like that's what those songs did to me. I feel like anybody else who listens to it would definitely say the same thing. You say you signed to a label. So I guess I don't want to get too much detail, but talk about that. And cause a label to a new artist is sometimes everything. Just talk about how it was signing, and then just how it was getting out, and just trying to find your own way.
Basically when before I was out of the label situation, it was more of a everything wasn't moving at the speed I wanted to move at. Like I wanted to just keep going because I'm a work. Like I said, I like working when it comes to music. So if we're not moving towards anything, you know, not saying necessarily benefiting me, but if we're not moving towards anything, period, then I feel like there's no need for me to be in that space. You know, not saying that it was a bad space for me to be in, but it just wasn't the same speed that I wanted to go for my career. And I wanted to just move and just focus on my me as an artist. So when I finally got out of that situation, you know, there was no bad blood there or anything like that, but it was just like, you know, go ahead, do you, you know, if you want to be free, go ahead, you know, you can do whatever you want to do, you know, you got the talent, and, you know, I wish you well. Basically, that's how that was, and I just took it and ran with it. And I ended up changing my name from Alex Ross with an E and a O with the R-O and the S-S and a A-L-E. Like, I ended up switching it up from that to like just one whole word. And I feel like because that's something unique, and at the same time people will get used to it and see it everywhere. Like it's everywhere. It's a marketing thing for me. Like the more simple it is, everybody can see it. You know, it's like I said, it's a marketing thing. So I was very happy to just be able to just take off and just do what I really wanted to do at the end of the day.
So you felt like it was important to switch your whole style around after, just like kind of like revamp yourself to a new like.
Basically, it's like a new like like it was like a rebranding, a breath of fresh air. You know, new environment. It was definitely something I really needed because I felt like I was just relying too much on the label and I wasn't putting too much power or investments into myself. So I ended up, you know, started using my own money, putting it towards myself, and actually just going hard at it, paying for promotion and paying for marketing and doing, you know, little shows here and there. So now everything is relying on me, and I'm in a happier space.
Yeah, and it's good. You definitely like I said, you definitely learn from it and just, you know, captivated from, capped off of it. So I guess when you do make music, talk about like your music process. Like how does that go?
It's more like a that's a very like complex space to be in at a time. Like when I be thinking about it, I be thinking like, man, how can I outdo myself this time? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not really worried about any other, you know, rapper that's around me or anybody that's on the radio or nothing like that. My biggest competition is myself. So when I'm like, dang, how can I outdo myself from my last project? And I be trying to think outside of the box instead of like, let's redo what I just did last project. Like, even though it might have worked, I feel like you still got to step out of that comfort zone and, you know, just go for it. And I feel like just saying, it's just been in a space where you can just be like, all right, bet, I'm gonna try to focus on this sound, I'm gonna try to focus on that sound, and just giving everything that you know that you're not used to a chance. And I feel like when I'm listening to like rock or hip hop or like different type of genres, I feel like that's what influenced me the most when it comes to my music creations. Like I don't like rushing anything. I like to take my time with it, and when it comes out, it just comes out, because the more time you have, the more, because I'm a perfectionist. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So the more time I have and the more time I spend on something, the more perfect I feel like it's gonna come out. So I feel like my decision-making process when it comes to my music and my creation process is a very long and tedious situation, or, you know, stance or whatever, but I feel like at the end of the day when it comes out, it's like how I want it to be at the end of the day. So
you say you're perfectionist and like you try to, you know, make sure everything go well. Do you look to other people for you know, insight, just how they sound before I put it out, how y'all feel about this, or do you just stick with like whatever you like and that's it?
I feel like most definitely. I definitely reach out to a lot of people I know. I be like, man, like, let me know what your insight on this on this project. Let me know what you feel like about this song or whatever. And they just be like, yeah, no. It's like my closest friends that I know. Like I don't show anybody else. I don't let, you know, people that's not really in my circle listen to it. But I, like all my friends, they do music too. Shout out to them. They're really into that music thing. Like one of my friends, Nino Soul, shout out him. He a singer. Killer King, he's a rapper. Tub T, G Tubbo, that's my guy. He's a rapper too. Hitman Saw, he's a producer. Shout out to all of them, bro. Even my man Henderson, he's a dude about movements, and he really knows the music industry. So like he's more like a management, but he also does music on the side too. So he's really serious about that movement stuff. So I just let them listen to it, and I let them, you know, give me their feedback on it. And if there's like, if it's a go, then I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Like those are my guys. Like when they tell me something, I'll be like, yeah, I'm on it. I'm just gonna do it, because they give me the confidence. Because like I said, I grew up with them. They, you know, they know everything when it comes to like me and music. So we all have like kind of the same field. So running it past them is definitely like my first like step when it comes to like releasing something. So
yeah. So we expect something from you and all of them soon?
I want to do something, but like at the same time, like doing this project, like it takes a lot of energy and a lot of time. So I want to do something with them, but it's gonna have to be like right place, right time, right moment. So I don't know, man. You know, I'm gonna talk to him about it, but like, hopefully, yeah.
Do you say like your thought process of music is like real intricate, stuff like that. Do you write your music, or you just kind of go off the dome and just whatever comes to you?
I feel like, alright, so when it comes to like me thinking about the music and trying to like, you know, just get a different feel and being outside of the box, I feel like it's more of a freestyle thing. But when I want to make a story and create something that people can listen back to, it's a writing thing. So all the songs you hear me having fun on, you really can't really tell the difference, but the ones that seem more alive, those are the ones I pretty much freestyle on. And like my hooks is something I definitely freestyle on. That's something I really think about, just keep it with me. I don't really write it down or anything like that. I just keep going over it in my head until I remember it. And then like with my lyrics, like I said, I just take some time out and just observe life around me. Sometimes I go outside, sit on the porch and just look at life go past, or like while I'm at work, I just observe life and just taking people's stories and just create something that everybody can really feel and leave an impact on people's lives when they listen to it, and they be like, man, like I feel like I went through what he's talking about. I feel like I can relate to that. So that's my biggest like thing I love to do with my music, is just make people feel like they can relate to it.
I will say, I feel like it's really dope as you as an artist to how you really take your time with your music. You know, a lot of artists, especially nowadays, with the new style rap, how easy it is to do this and that exposure. People don't really, you know, take the time on what songs they pick, the beats they choose. They just kind of put some content out there and hope for the best. But I feel like with you, you know, you really try to master your music and make sure it's like something that's gonna be great. I feel like that's real dope. So in 2020, what can we expect from you this coming year? I'm
gonna definitely be putting out a lot more work. But first, I'm gonna get the rest of this work out with this project. Be on it as much as I can. You know, videos coming soon. More visuals coming soon. I'm putting on my director hat. So. Just be looking more forward to that, and then like more music is coming as you know, as usual. But I'm looking to just make some moves and just be ready to just take my career to the next level this year. So that's hopefully I can make my mark sooner or later.
All right, well, pleasure having you. Hope to hear from you a lot more soon this year.
What's going on, you guys? This is your boy Alex Ross. You can go stream my new project Afficionado on all streaming platforms, and stay tuned for all the moves. Let's get it.
I need you a lot less. Wish we could fight less. Guess you need somebody else to go and confide in. I don't want violence. I just wanna talk. Tell me things that you hiding. I would never judge you. Who am I to start lying? I just wanna be the one you call when you cry again.